Hello, and today I'll teach you how to set up your Rubik's Cube. And setting up your cube is very important because it can improve the performance of your cube, and if your cube is new, it can also help your cube. So let's get into it. The first step would be to take out an edge piece. It should be easy. Just turn it 45 degrees and twist it, and then you can disassemble the cube. And that should leave you with some pieces everywhere and the core. So let's just ignore the core first. And step 2 would be to sort out the edges and corners. And that should be really easy, and you could do it yourself. Step 3 would be to wipe the pieces and wipe off any dirt or some excess lube. So you should wipe every surface of the piece, including the stalks. For the edges, we do the same. You can wipe off every surface. After that, put your edges and corners aside and let's get into the core. So firstly, you'll just have to take off all the center pieces. After that, take your screwdriver and then unscrew all of the screws. So I'm just going to do one face for demonstration purposes. And after you've unscrewed it, take off the whole piece like that. Do it for all 6 sides. So after you've done that, choose one centerpiece. I choose this one. Take out the spring and the washer and leave the centerpiece here first. And then if you have extra springs, then you can go for a spring swap, which means taking out this spring and then replacing with another one. But today I'm not going to be doing that. So instead, if you're not going for a spring swap, you need some silicone lubricant to lube the nails and the springs. So you could use weight 4 or weight 5 like I'm using here, or you could use blue black. Open up the black top. Be careful not to spill anything. And then screw on the green tip. Screw it on tightly. Like that. And after you did that, aim it at the spring. And then put some glue on the spring. Just spread it all over. Like that. This step may be a little bit hard. And screw it back in. So here I've screwed it back in. And all you've got to do is just do the same thing for all 6 sides of the cube. Of the center pieces. Also, you've got to make sure the color scheme is correct as you screw on these 2 screws. Okay, so let's just continue. Another quick reminder, when you take off the pieces, you'll notice there is a metal ring, which is another washer right here. And make sure it stays there and doesn't fall off, because if it falls off and you lost it, then you're in big trouble. That's probably the lengthiest part of our setup process. And yeah, so after you finish that, you can not put on the center caps first and assemble the cube first, because after that we'll still have to tension the cube. So I recommend you do not put on the center caps and just assemble the cube first. And for cube assembly, you can just randomly assemble it, it doesn't matter, because we can solve it later. So first what you do is you put one edge piece in, you put another edge piece in, so 2 edge pieces, flip it over, insert a corner. So this is the best and most stable way to assemble a cube, to make sure the cube doesn't explode halfway or something like that. And yeah, because tensions are a bit loose right now, so you need to be careful. And here we've done a block after putting a corner in the edge piece. So I recommend you to assemble block by block, because I think it's easier than assemble it layer by layer. And then you insert another edge piece, and then corner and edge. So same thing, edge piece, corner and edge. Just like that. After we've assembled the first 2 layers, I recommend you to lubricate it again. Just like that. And in the setup process, you should have used at least half an ml of your lube, or else your cube is under lubed. You could put in some light silicone lube. And then we can continue assembling. And then for the last edge, you could put in some lube before assembling. Just like that. And then assemble it, or put it in. And you could solve the cube now. Sometimes you get these impossible cases, like this one. So all you need to do is take a piece out and put it back in. And yeah, you'll get some lube on your hands, but you just gotta wipe it off. And yeah. And after that, you can tension your cube. So right now it's way too loose. I'm gonna make it tighter. And make sure every side is the same tightness, and I'll teach you how to do it later. So now we'll approximately just screw it 3 turns per side. Approximately tighten each side for 2 turns, and you could do that to cube 2. And you can, after that, you can check if it's too loose or too tight or something like that. So mine is still a bit loose. You can check the tensions on each side by pulling apart 2 horn pieces. If you use the same force and they pull apart the same distance, then they are the equal tensions. So now all my sides are equal. So after you've found out that all your sides are equal, you can put back on those center pieces. So the last step will be adding some piece lubricant to your cube, and you could use some water-based lubricant such as Lube or the MOU V2. So they're actually all the same. They're just like some milky substance, and all you have to do is make a gap here, then drop 3 drops in like this, close the gap, and then work it around, and then do the same for the other opposite side of the cube. Open the gap, put a few drops in, close the gap, and then work it around, do a few solves, and you'll be okay.